back at it again, and we've got one here with campus reform. All right, with the best of college students getting stumped. So I'm sure this is going to be really, really good. It is the end of the year and the beginning of a new year. So happy new year to you all. All right. Hope it brings you some joy and peace. Hopefully next year is a lot better year than the year we're leaving. But hey, only time will tell. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you're following me and Campus Reform on social media too. All of those links are down below. And let's dive in.
What's your reaction to the justice that he nominated today?
I'm honestly not surprised by his choice, but that's just worse for us.
I just saw the pick and I was like, it's almost at a point where you kind of expect that it's not going to be what you want.
I see it all over the news that like he's like racist and shit.
He's quite,
I see it all over the news. I just follow the news. I don't think for myself. I just follow the news.
extreme in his views.
This new nominee is very racist.
And so what reaction have you seen on social media today after the news?
Oh, outrage, as it should be.
His entire cabinet and everyone he's chosen has been the white supremacist Legion of Doom, and it's dangerous to everyone who looks like me.
What? You feel like the Supreme Court nominee today kind of falls in that same line?
Of course. They should all wear white hoods and burn crosses at the Capitol, because that's exactly the move. That's what they're going for.
Who, in your mind, should pay for all of the free things?
All of the free things? Well, some of it should come from taxes, but the government should pay for it.
But the government is funded by taxes.
Yeah.
How are we going to pay for those?
Oh, God. I mean...
Yo, what? She literally just said some of it should come from taxes, but the government should pay for it. These are the people that we live amongst. They have no clue how all of this works, but yet we're going to go out and we're going to march. We're going to advocate for it. We're going to, well, what are you advocating for? Like, how are you going to pay for all of this? Well, the government's going to pay for it. So you're going to pay for it? No, the government's going to pay for it. No, you mean you're going to pay for it? No, I said the government. The government runs off of your money. Oh man, this stuff is hilarious. I mean, it's funny and frustrating at the same time, because it's like, how can people be so how can people be so airheaded? How about that? Goodness gracious, man.
Us, I guess.
Yeah. I'm liberal. I don't know exactly where I stand, but I know Democratic Socialist is better than conservative. It's just better than, it's the better option.
How do you know that?
In what way?
When I think of it, I just think of more open-minded people that aren't as economically conserved.
How would you view what socialism is, though?
Can't tell you. Don't know.
Economically, what is socialism?
Economically, So, I'm gonna think about that for a second.
A lot more accessible to a lot more people, and that's kind of how I see it, being more accessible and more kind of equal ground. Yeah.
What does that mean necessarily, though?
To be quite honest, I don't know.
I guess just specifically getting rid of that wealth gap in the United States.
I mean, honestly, that definition gets thrown around a lot. I'm not exactly sure.
How would you define what fascism is?
He can't tell you. Bet you he can't.
I don't know. Okay. How would you define fascism?
It's not an easy thing to define.
How would you define fascism?
I don't really want to get into all of that history and
stuff. Does that mean you can't define it, though?
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Fascist ideas.
And how would you define fascism? How would you define what fascism is? All right. I see the word.
Textbook. I'm going to go out here and protest. Do you even know what you're protesting about? No. Couldn't tell you. One of the most valuable things that we all have, which is time. You cannot buy it. You cannot create it. Now, some people may say, yeah, you can buy time. No, you can't. No, you can't. Well, you can buy time because you can pay people to... That's not buying time. That's freeing up time you already have. That's not buying extra time. So, the most valuable thing we all have, they're just wasting it. Rotting away. No wonder why a lot of them are so unhappy. I need to find that study that I found that showed that. Goodness gracious.
Nazi punks, F off. But fascism? What is fascism?
I don't want to commit to any sort of definition. Maybe
It's a serious thing though to call someone a Nazi and a fascist, but you have to know what it is though if you're going to call them that.
And I think that guy's a Nazi.
Tell me what a Nazi and a fascist is though.
Yeah, I don't want to answer any more questions. Thanks.
It's a serious term to level. No free speech if you're a fascist, and apparently everyone's a fascist. So, what kind of guns would you like to see banned?
Just
AR-15.
Who would support the ban of assault weapons moving forward? Okay, so 5 out of 5 for banning an assault weapon. Do you know what an assault weapon is?
Yeah, it's assault weapon. It's like
Nope.
No clue. I kind of do, but kind of don't.
Okay.
Like,
Meaning you don't.
it's just well.
What is an assault weapon?
Can any of you tell me what an assault weapon is?
Nope.
I guess. But assault weapons, like, does that sound safe to you?
The same amount of people die by assault weapons as do car crashes in a given year.
As what?
Do car crashes. It's a similar number.
Okay. It's not actually, but.
Or isn't it similar?
No, it's not. So assault weapons count for about 3% of gun deaths, but car crashes are about the leading cause.
Okay, I thought that was. But a lot of people die by gun deaths.
The main idea of socialism.
She went from assault weapons to just all weapons. Woo, man. These folks. I'm going to go out and protest. I don't know why I'm protesting, though. You just can't make this stuff up. It's just absolutely mind-boggling that they've let themselves be so controlled and they have no clue. Like, they haven't even taken the time to stop and think. Why am I protesting this? Do I even know what this is? We've seen like 3 or 4 examples of it.
Being that people at the top are doing their fair share to help people at the bottom. So on campus, if there's a GPA disparity where there's people at the bottom with a poor GPA, would you support a policy where people at the top spread the wealth and give that GPA to people at the bottom?
We watched this and she says no.
Help them get a better GPA?
Yeah.
I'm all for helping. I wouldn't give like, oh, let me just give you some of my points.
But it's about being fair, right? We got to help people at the bottom.
It's hard. I guess it would be kind of like hypocritical for me to say no.
Sure would.
That's completely different.
How's it
No, it's
different?
not.
Because I'm like studying all day for my grade.
What do you mean by sharing it? Like literally, like giving them a chunk of my GPA?
Yep.
Dang.
I would want to say no, straight up.
But what's the difference between earning a high GPA and not wanting to give it away, but then earning a lot of money and also not wanting to give that away?
There isn't a difference.
Well, I feel like the difference is that you study for your grades, right? And grades often reflect how much time you spend studying. But
You gotta work pretty hard to become a millionaire.
I mean, I'm not denying that fact either, but for the regular working person, you know.
We are a nation of law.
Oh, and for the regular student, for the regular student that doesn't want to work hard, you're not going to get a crazy good GPA. So what's the difference again? Exactly, there isn't one. Amen.
Us undocumented workers broke our laws, and I believe they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. What's your thought on that quote and that policy in general?
I think that policy comes from a place of like white American nationalism.
Donald Trump has kind of like embraced this rhetoric of like racism and xenophobia that is not beneficial to our country at all.
I don't think that quote really stands true.
This administration has totally not done anything moral.
This is really awful.
I'm going to show you the person that said that quote. Is that surprising?
Gotcha.
Yeah, a little bit.
Why is that surprising?
Because I thought it was the Trump administration that said something like that.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. I thought it was from Trump.
I didn't expect it to be Obama either.
Why did you not expect it to be Obama?
Because Obama's our savior. He was. Now listen, I will admit, I was excited when Obama became president too. I was one of those folks. I will put myself on Front Street. I'll put myself on blast, okay? I was definitely one of those folks that got excited. Oh, black man is president. And then, slowly over time, I became a bit smarter, The lights were on and somebody actually came back home. The lights weren't just on and nobody was home, okay, anymore. Somebody came back home. All right. And then I realized, you know what? That's all a load of crap. But I guess for these folks, nobody ever came back home. Sheesh.
Because I guess, I don't know, like, it never occurred to me that it could be Obama.
Is that surprising that it's a quote from President Obama?
Yeah, that was surprising for sure, yeah.
Do you think it's still a practice of white nationalism, though, to deport criminal illegal aliens?
I think the way Trump's doing it is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But President Obama, to this point in Trump's
Delusional.
presidency, Obama actually deported more people, though. So it's, in practice, it was more from Obama, though.
What's your question?
Everyone would be required.
Delusional. My goodness. I think it's worse the way Trump is doing it. When you get caught. Well, what's your question? You know what the question is.
It would be mandatory to go on the government plan. Okay. So if you had no plan or if you had a private plan that you liked, you would be kicked off of that. So about 70 million people would be kicked off of their private plans and forced onto the government one.
Would you have to pay for it?
Yes. So taxes will go up.
You still have to pay for it? I don't support that.
Do you think President Trump should be impeached?
I think he should be impeached.
He definitely has done enough things to be impeached.
Do you think President Trump should be impeached?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he should.
Is there anything that comes to mind specifically that you would say that's why he should be impeached?
I don't know if I can say any specific type of event or specific action.
I'm sure there's reasons that I don't know of, but I've not had seen one certain reason to impeach him.
Didn't he just say he's done a lot of things to be impeached? Make that make sense.
What do you think is an impeachable offense he's committed?
Well, I'm not that into politics. I don't really pay that much attention to it.
But you were just talking about impeachment.
Just the fact that he's trying to run immigrants out of the country.
Illegal.
What would you view as the specific instance of saying this is an impeachable offense?
Honestly, I think it's a lot of just how popular he is, and so even though you're so popular and popping right now, it's not good for America.
All right, I'm done with this. Y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Goodness gracious, I got a headache. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. I'm out, man. This is ridiculous. Y'all stay safe out there.